Yo gamers, welcome back. In this video I'm going to show you the fast and easy things you can do for money that are totally worth it as a low-level character. Everything on this list is repeatable, takes less than 10 minutes, and pays at least 15 grand. Most pay more, but the two that don't take less than 2 minutes, so they are still worth it. First up is G's Cash. You can see them on the map, you can do them once every real-world day. Just go to the area on your map, search around, and listen for the beeping. Once you find the box and pick it up, you'll get around 15 grand plus snacks and ammo. If you're having trouble finding the box, then go to the GTAWeb website. I'll include a link to that in the description. I use GTAWeb a lot, including for some of the other stuff in this video. Once in the web page, you can select what things you want the map to show. In this example, I'm just having it show G's cache locations. If you zoom in on the one that you're at, you'll see some little X's that mark where the box can spawn in that area. You can also click on the area to see in-game screenshots that show you exactly where to look. GTAWeb is a great resource. Everyone should be using it. Next up, at number 2, we've got stealing and selling NPC modded cars. You can do this once per in-game day or every 48 minutes. If you've seen my live streams from the $1 billion grind, especially the early ones, you'll know that I like to steal the modded Sentinels that spawn on the street between the 8-bit arcade and Tequila La. The mod shop buys these for either 15 or 18 grand, depending on which one you get. They're really easy to find. They spawn at night between 10 p.m. and 4 a.m., and it doesn't matter what kind of car you're driving like it does for some others. I can usually get one to spawn, steal it, and sell it in less than a minute, no more than 2 minutes at the most. So to spawn these things, you're going to start down here by Tinsel Towers and drive up this street. When you get to this driveway on the right, just stop for about 5 seconds and then drive up slowly to the corner and make a left. It should spawn right in front of you, either the blue one or the yellow one. If it doesn't spawn, then just keep going. Make the next left, drive down past Tinsel Towers and make another left. Now you're back where you started, so just repeat the pattern. The only thing that might trip you up is if there's another player right in the area, especially on that street. That can block the spawn, and that's why if you really want to focus on money making, you should be doing all of those things in an invite-only lobby. That's the only way to guarantee that other players won't mess you up, even by accident. Now, the blue one sells for a few thousand more than the yellow one, but I usually just take whichever one I get. If you've still got a little time before 4 a.m. and you want to hold out for the blue one, then just act like it didn't spawn and go drive the loop again. Eventually you'll get the blue one, but I don't think the extra 2 grand is worth it. The best alternative to the Sentinels, and just as easy, are the modded Sandking XLs. These spawn during daytime between 9 a.m. and 6 p.m. up in Sandy Shores in the used car lot right across from LS Customs on Route 68. They sell for 17 grand or 18 grand, again depending on which one you get. Just like the Sentinels, the blue one sells for a bit more, and also like the Sentinels, I don't think the extra grand is worth it. I just grab and sell whichever one I get. Now, unlike the Sentinels, it does matter which car you're driving. You need to do this in a Sandking XL, or at the very least there has to be a Sandking XL somewhere active on the map. Since you can't always depend on that, the easiest way to do this is to just own one and use it when you're trying to spawn these. I know TGG actually talked about spawning these in a recent video, and he said to drive by the car lot along Route 68 and look the other way. Now, that works, but I don't think that's the best way to do it. The way I like to do it is by starting up here on the dirt road next to LS Customs, and then drive slowly down that road towards Route 68. You can look right at the car lot during this and see the Sandking spawn in front of you. Either way works fine, but at least this way, if you're holding out for the blue one and you see the yellow one, you can just turn around, head back up to the starting point, and try again. Now, I want to give credit where credit is due here. I learned this method from YouTuber Scott D, formerly known as Bullet. I'll put a link to his channel in the description, and if you really want to learn about spawning rare cars in this game, especially the Dubsta 2, this guy was the most prolific Dubsta 2 spawner I've ever seen. A lot of people will spend 15 to 20 minutes just trying to get a single Dubsta 2 to spawn. This guy has videos where he spawns 2 and even 3 in a row within a couple of minutes. If you know how hard these are to spawn, then you'll understand how amazing Scott is at it. Definitely the best I've ever seen. I'm kind of bummed out he doesn't post videos anymore, but at least all his old ones are still up. Shout out to you, Scott D. You are the Dubsta 2 master, sir. Moving along with number 3, we've got the Simeon export requests. You can do these once per real-world day. Just watch for a text from Simeon telling you what cars he's looking for. You should only focus on the cars that pay 20 grand. Those are the Infernus, the Feltzer, the Bullet, the Coquette, the Carbonizari, or Carbonizer, however you say that, the Super Diamond, and the Exemplar. Simeon's text will list at least one of those cars, and usually 2 or even 3. When you steal the car, you'll get a 2-star wanted level, so you'll need to lose the cops and then take the car to get resprayed at the mod shop. The respray is free, and then you just take it down to Simeon's export garage at the docks, and you're done. The whole thing usually takes about 5 minutes. Fourth is the daily shipwreck. This can be done once per real-world day, and it's another one that's easy when you use GTAWeb. The website automatically updates every day to show you which location is active for that day. It'll also show you a picture of what it looks like in-game to make it easier to find. When you get near it, you'll start hearing wind chimes, and they'll get louder as you get closer, just like the treasure hunt clues. Once you see it, pick up the shipwreck box, and you'll get 20 grand. The longest part of this one is usually the drive to the location, so it might take up to 10 minutes if you have to drive really far. Still worth it though. Number 5 is the stash house. Also once per real world day. You can see this one on your map just like G's Cash. Go to the location, enter the building, and take out the guys inside. If you've ever done nightclub popularity missions, you'll probably notice that the location is a cut paste from the drug dealer one. After they're dead, find the post-it note with the safe combination and use that to open the safe. When you leave, enemies will come after you, but they're really easy to outrun. Once you get far enough away, the mission ends. The whole thing takes less than 5 minutes typically. The reward you get from this depends on whether you own any drug businesses, like the Acid Lab or the Coke Lockup. If you don't own any of those, you'll get 30 grand, definitely worth the 5 minutes. If you own a drug business, then you'll get a full bar of supplies for that business. Now, the only business I own is the Acid Lab, so that's what I get supplies for. If you own more than one, then I think it's random which one gets the supplies. For the Acid Lab, buying a full bar of supplies will cost me 60 grand. So you could say my reward for this is 60 grand, or double what I would have gotten if I didn't own the Acid Lab. The other businesses cost 75 grand for a full bar of supplies, so the reward for those is worth even more. Definitely worth your time. You should be doing this every day. Last but not least, at number 6 is VIP work. Most people start off new with a CEO office, so VIP work is always available. But even if you don't own that, all you need is 50 grand in the bank to become a VIP, and you can do this work anyways. The 2 fastest, easiest, and most popular VIP jobs are Sightseer and Headhunter. But Headhunter might be kind of hard without a weaponized or armored vehicle. If you don't own one yet, you might want to stick with Sightseer for now. I'm not saying it can't be done, so if you're up for it, go for it. I'm just saying it's way easier and faster when you've got a flying vehicle with homing missiles. Both jobs typically pay just over 20 grand, depending on how long you take. If it takes you longer, it'll pay a little more, but the best strategy is to complete it as quickly as you can, and you'll always get about 20 grand at least. Since I'm focusing on the quickest and easiest stuff with the lowest requirements, I'm going to talk about Sightseer. I don't own anything that flies, so I do Sightseer on my motorcycle, the Body 801. You could do it in almost any vehicle though. On my motorcycle, I usually finish in about 6 to 8 minutes, including the jobs where the package spawns take you back and forth between the opposite sides of Mount Chiliad. So annoying. All you have to do for this is reveal each package location on your map by solving the mini games on your phone. Go to those packages and collect them. Once you collect all 3, you get paid. It's about as easy as it gets. There's a 10-minute cooldown before you can run the same VIP job again. So if you complete Sightseer, you can't do Sightseer again for 10 minutes. So guys, that's my list of the fast and easy things you can do every day as a low level to make some extra money and start getting ahead. And for the most part, you don't even need to own anything to do them. I know there's more I could mention, like mixed goods and ammunition sales, or the random blue dot events. I didn't want to talk about those because for the sales, you have to own property first, and for the blue dot events, you can't just go do them whenever you want. They have to spawn in for you. I also could have mentioned the junk energy parachute jumps, but those are only worth it if you're going to do all 10, and doing all 10 can easily take an hour or even more, and this was about stuff you can do fast. But one extra thing I will mention is this. I recommend every low level spend 15 grand for the Body 801 motorcycle. Upgrade it as much as you can for your level and use it for the weekly time trial, which pays just over 100 grand every week for less than 3 minutes time. The Body 801 is surprisingly good for the time trial. In fact, it's better than some of the motorcycles that cost millions. Also, if you drive a motorcycle, it'll start healing your health all the way up to 100% when you're riding it. and it'll give you some armor and damage bonuses while you're on it. For a low level, you really can't go wrong with the Body 801. It's one of the best bikes in the game, even though it's one of the cheapest. And what's really crazy is that it's been in the game since day one back in 2013. So what do you guys think? Are there any jobs I didn't mention that you would put on this list? Let me know in the comments. But for now, that's a wrap for this one. If you enjoyed the video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing to my channel. And as always, thank you very much for watching and have a great game.